Wow. Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope that you're doing wonderful. I hope that you are blessed. I hope that you are settling down on this beautiful Sunday evening and getting yourself ready for the work week. I hope that you've done something wonderful for yourself. I hope that you've spent some time with yourself. I know I have. I went and got my hair done. Later last week I got my nails done, but this week I got my hair done. Took a nice little nap today and just really taking care of me, right? Taking care of myself because that is what we were supposed to do. That's why we're here, to take care of ourselves, and then we can take care of other people. So I have this background set up behind me for a very specific reason. We're talking about writer's block. And so this is the closest thing that I could find to like blocks. Because literally, when you get stuck inside of writer's block, it's like there's a brick wall standing between you and your dream, which is to get your book done. So let me do a quick introduction for those of y'all that don't know me. Welcome to my world. I am streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Welcome, welcome. I love doing this. This is amazing. This is so much fun. And you guys get to watch me as I learn this new miracle tool called StreamYard. I love it. I love it. It's become my new best friend because I love going live. And I would typically go live on one platform and then take a 10-minute break and go live on another platform and take a 20-minute break and get something to eat and drink. And then I would go on to the next platform. But this, ooh-wee, you guys are about to get sick of me because I'm loving this. Being able to go live on multiple platforms. Okay, thank you. All right, so let me officially go ahead and get started. Tonight's topic is how to overcome writer's block forever. Yeah, forever, ever, forever, ever. I have a couple of strategies that I'm going to be teaching you tonight. I have a whole toolkit full of strategies. And whenever one of my clients is struggling with something, I just reach right into my toolkit and pull out whatever tool it is and help them use the tool to get themselves right back on track. So I'm going to be doing that for you tonight. So if you are here live with me, just post in the comments, hey, I'm here live. Hey, if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and put, hey, replay, hashtag replay, because I go back and I read all the comments after the fact. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you for saying hello to me because it lets me know that there are people who are interested in my content. And that's amazing, right? So let me get a little bit into my story and let you know who I am. My name is Latasha L.T. Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, book coach. I'm also a motivational speaker. And what I'm going to share with you today are two powerful tools that when you use these power tools together, they're going to help you overcome writer's block forever, right? And it's going to try to creep up on you again and again and again. And what you have to do is just reach right into your toolkit and pull out these two power tools and get to work. And then you will not have to worry about that problem, right? If you're in here with me live, I want you to look up the definition for writer's block. And I want you to type it into the chat. Give me a thorough working definition of the phrase writer's block and type it into the comments. And I'm going to read it out loud and we're going to break this thing down. Okay. So a little bit about me. I am a high school history teacher by trade, right? I've taught English, I've taught history, I've taught finance. psychology, economics, all of the social sciences. Those are the things that I love. All the humanities, right? I love language. I love culture. I love music. I love dance. I love food. I love art. Anything that has to do with a beautiful expression of the human spirit, I'm all about it. I'm here for it, right? And so you're going to get a lot of juicy stories from me tonight. And so I want you to grab your water, soda, tea, whatever you want to have, and grab a pen and a piece of paper because tonight is it's gonna be fun. It's late night. Like I'm winding down, getting ready for the new week. But I've also been inspired to share this with you because last night I went live and I answered. I did an Ask Me Anything question and answer, and I answered all the questions except for this one about writer's block. So I figured, you know what? Let me just do a whole topic, a whole training show, whatever you want to call this, about writer's block, because this is something that people deal with. This is a real deal situation, right? It's something that people really struggle with. And it is something that I struggled with for a long time. And I didn't know how to overcome it until these tools popped up in my mind. And I was like, ooh, I got these tools I can use anytime I need to. So let's just break down. What is the meaning of writer's block? Like, what is it? If you're out there and you have your phone with you or you have an extra device where you can look it up, go ahead and look up the definition and put that definition in the chat box. Post it so we can talk about it, right? I used to get writer's block when I was in 7th grade. That was my first experience with writer's block because I had a really tough English teacher who was not playing. Like she would come in the room and she would be like, here's the writing prompt and you have 10 minutes and you better write something because I'm going to call you up to the front so you can read what you wrote. And I was always like, don't do that. Don't do that to me, right? I always thought that she was like picking on me, like she didn't like me or she had a problem with me. Whereas what was really happening, to be honest with you, is she saw something in me. And I see I have a couple of viewers in here. Hello, viewers. Make sure you go ahead and type your name in the comments, post your name, because I can't see. I definitely want to give you a shout out for being here, for being up in here, right? I want to give you a shout out. So if you could go ahead and type your name, that would be amazing because I'm not able to see who's watching. And I don't even know which platform you're watching from because it doesn't tell me yet. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to keep on teaching. 7th grade, I would come in the door and she would have that timer and I immediately would have an anxiety attack. As soon as I saw that timer, I'd be like, oh, I know what that means. Then she would the prompt would already be on the board. She would write that on the board. And then she would say, okay, on your mark, get set, go. And you need to start writing. And we would sit there and we would be like, shh, just writing for 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh. So when we first started doing it, I was devastated because I didn't know how to do this. And I was only 12 years old in the 7th grade. I'm like, give me a break. Why are you trying to make me have an anxiety attack? And I didn't even know it was an anxiety attack, to be honest with you. All I knew was my heart was beating really fast. My armpits were sweaty. My hands were sweaty. I was stuttering. My mouth was dry. I couldn't talk. All of a sudden it was hot. I was real hot, sweating. Like it was so uncomfortable because I didn't want anybody to know what was on my mind because I didn't really know what was on my mind because I didn't really know myself. I knew my life and I knew things that I had gone through, and I didn't want anybody to know anything about my life. I was going through a lot as a kid. So I really, when it came time to share and put things on paper and even have a conversation, I was not the talkative person that I am right now. I was not the chatty Cathy. I was the one who tried to hide in the back, right? So all I wanted to do was blend in. But I could never do that because I was always a little bit taller and a little bit curvier than all the rest of the girls. And, we were in middle school, so the boys were naturally smaller than us girls. And so I had a hard time blending in. I wanted to blend in, but I couldn't. And this particular teacher knew that I had a way with words. I don't know how she knew this because I was real low key in her class, but she knew that I was a good reader. She knew that I was a good writer, and she knew that I was going to become a good speaker because it was going to happen on her watch, because she made sure that I had opportunities to go to the front of the class and speak. She made sure that I had opportunities to write, and she made sure that I had opportunities to shine, even when I didn't want to shine. So if you're in school right now and you have a teacher who seems to be picking on you and always asking you to read and always asking you for the answer, always asking you to come up and do a presentation, it's because that teacher sees something in you and they're trying to call out your greatness, and they're trying to give you an opportunity to shine in a good way, in a positive way, right? So, seventh grade, I was 12 years old, and this was my first time ever experiencing writer's block. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so embarrassing. I literally sat down in my chair, looked at the writing prompt, looked at the timer, and I completely went blank. It's like my brain just went off. And then I don't even know, like, it was like I was frozen, like I was just a statue or something. And she comes up to me, she says, "Why aren't you writing?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Don't you understand the prompt?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to walk around the room. And when I come back, you better be writing." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yes, ma'am." This was back in the day when we used to say, "Yes, ma'am," "No, ma'am," "Yes, sir," "No, sir." We used to say that, right? And so here's what happened. She walked around the room and checked in with everybody else, and she came back to me, and I still had nothing written on my paper, 0 words at all. And she said, "You're still not writing. Why?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she's like, "What is it?" She's like, "You understand the prompt. You see the timer. You're only going to get 10 minutes and half of your time is already over. So you need to have something written on that paper." And I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so stressed. Like my brain just wouldn't work. And no matter how hard I tried, it just didn't work. And so she taught me something that day that was so powerful. It was the most powerful tool that I've ever learned in my whole life. And it's one of the reasons why I became a teacher, social studies and then English. It is the reason why I am so passionate about writing, passionate about reading, passionate about writing. Excuse that noise in the background. I don't know what has happened, but Jesus, take the wheel on that. I don't know what's going on out there, but it is what it is. So I just was so frozen and paralyzed. Like I was dealing with the analysis paralysis, when you try so hard to make your brain think and to make your mouth talk and to make your hands write. You try so hard and everything just shuts down. That's what happened to me that day. And she taught me something that was so powerful that it inspired me to pursue writing. as a career later on in life, right? This is the reason why I am now a self-published author. I am now a coach. I am now an editor. And I support people with becoming successful authors in a very, very short period of time. And so I love what I do. This is the love of my life. It is the love of my life. It is the purpose why I'm walking earth. And I didn't know that back when I felt picked on by my teacher, right? I didn't know that when I was getting nervous about writing in class and I didn't want to go up and speak. I didn't know what my future would be, but I had to just surrender to the process. So for those of you out there that are like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what my purpose is. What I want to tell you is surrender to the process. You're here for a reason. You're listening to my voice for a reason. You see my face for a reason, right? So just breathe, relax, and surrender to the process, because life is all about living and learning and surrendering to the process. The more you try to kick and scream and fight and resist, resistance is futile. Like life is just going to life you up. You have to learn how to go with the flow and relax and just surrender to the process. So once I surrendered to the teacher's process, my life got better. I started using this tool. I'm going to tell you about the tool she gave me in a minute, but I started using it in every other class, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're having anxiety and you're stressed out in one class, you're probably doing that in multiple classes, right? If you are noticing fear and anxiety creeping up in one area of your life, then you are probably being consumed with fear and anxiety in another area of your life. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So remember that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let it get down into your bones, because this is so important for your life. It's so important for your life, your future, your children, all the generations that will come after you. That's how far your legacy is going to extend if you learn how to use these tools. Okay? What you write today is going to be saved for all of history. All right? Okay, so here's what she taught me. She walked up to me and she said, "You better start writing." And so she was in my face and I was like, okay, I'm scared. And she said, "No, you need to start writing." And I was like, "I don't know what to write." And she was like, "You need to write that." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "What you just said." And I said, "Well, what did I just say?" I was really confused. I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck. I was really confused. She said, "What did you just say right now?" And I said, "I don't know what to write." She goes, "Write that." And I was like, huh? I was really scratching my head. Like my head really does itch right now. But I was scratching my head like, huh? What you talking about, Willis? I grew up in the 80s. So I literally was like, "What you talking about?" She goes, "You just said, I don't know what to write." She said, "Number your paper 1 through 50. And I want you to copy that sentence 50 times. And I want you to write that. I don't know what to write." And I did that and I wrote it. And I wrote it 50 times. And then the next time that happened in class again, where I just went blank and froze and didn't know what to write, I got out the pen and the paper, and I wrote 50 times, "I don't know what to write." And I did that day after day, month after month. And at the end of the school year, she was like, "Oh my God, you've become such a prolific writer. Like your writing has improved so much." And she started reading my writing in front of the class, and she started quoting from what I wrote. And I also got recognized, not only in my English class for my brilliant ideas, but also my history class. And so this is one of the reasons why I fell in love very early with history and English, is because I was being um, praised, and I was being encouraged and challenged and pushed and prodded, to get out there and to do things. And so by the time I hit ninth grade, I was entering poetry competitions, I was entering essay competitions, I was writing essays for scholarship money to go to college. I was helping other people write their essays for their scholarships to go to college. And then lo and behold, I became a teacher and I started encouraging my students to write those essays to get that scholarship money to go to college. And this is one of the most powerful things that I've ever learned in my life. And that is, when you feel stuck in a rut and you feel like your brain just ain't working, get out a pen and a piece of paper and number 1 through 50 and write, I don't know what to write. And I guarantee by the time you get to number 39, your brain will have kicked on and you will know exactly what to write. I promise you. You will get so tired of writing that same old boring sentence over and over and over and over again. But what that's doing is it's turning on the engine. It's like the old lawnmower where you have to pull and pull and pull and pull, and then it starts, right? It's like a water well where you're digging down and you're trying to get water out of the well and you're having to do this to get the bucket to come up. You are turning on the ideas. You're getting the energy flowing to you and through you so that the words can come out of your mind onto that paper. And it is a miraculous tool because it's very simple, it's very basic, and it works. When you get writer's block, you are overthinking. You're overthinking, you're stressing out, and you are not focused. You are worried about things that you shouldn't even be worried about. You have all these ideas. Oh my gosh, excuse me, what am I going to do? Like, what if people don't like my book? Like, that's one of the things that I would think. Oh my gosh, what if nobody likes it? Oh my gosh, what if nobody buys it? It's so embarrassing. What if people do buy it and they hate it? Oh my gosh, what if they give me a bad review on Amazon? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. If you allow that thought process to keep going, it's like a runaway train. It's going to flip off the tracks. You have to rein in those thoughts by doing something very basic and very simple, like copying a sentence 50 times. It's very easy, it's very simple, but what it does is it's a pattern interruption. You're like, huh? What? Snap out of it. You ever seen those movies where somebody's freaking out, going through an anxiety attack, and then their friend comes up and says, psh, psh, snap out of it. It's a pattern interrupt. It tells your brain, wait a minute, what are you doing? You need to be doing this. Stop doing that and start doing this. Stop worrying, stop stressing and overthinking, and get started. Okay, that is what I teach in my programs. That is what I walk my clients through, step by step by step. It is what I walk myself through, step by step by step. Whenever I'm facing any type of challenge, whenever I have these thoughts that are just racing out of control, I stop and I say, wait a minute. Let me get my pen. Let me get my paper. Let's write this out. Let's work through this. This is what we mean when we say you got to do the work on yourself. When you feel yourself losing control of your thoughts to the point where your whole nervous system is shutting down and you don't have any intelligent thoughts and you can barely speak, That's a problem. And so how do you fix that? Pattern interrupt. Paper, pencil, 50 times. There you go. Until you snap out of that spell. And trust me, day after day after day after day, week after week after week after week, month after month after month after month, you will get tired of doing this. You will get tired. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, come on. Can't I come up with some great ideas? Yes. And now I'm going to teach you another tool. Okay. So pattern interrupt, number 1 through 50. I don't know what to write. 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 It could be any type of sentence that you want. There are some days where I get up in the morning and I have so much stinking thinking in my brain. I open up my Bible and I get a piece of paper and I pick one scripture and I write it 50 times. By the time I'm done writing that scripture 50 times, you best believe my brain is refocused and ready to go. Hell, I'm so good now. I'm at the point where I only have to write it like 10 times. And then my brain is like, oh, okay, let's get back on. Let's get focused. Let's get back on task. What are we supposed to be doing today? What do we need to do to be productive? Who do we need to serve? Where do we need to go? Who do we need to call? What's going on today, right? That is how you get rid of those negative thoughts. Someone had a question in the Facebook group the other night it said, what do I do about all these negative thoughts? Pattern interrupt, take out a pen and a piece of paper and write down 50 times, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to think negative. I don't like the way this feels. This is not good. Right? Pick a sentence and write it. Pick a scripture, your favorite scripture, and write it 50 times. Watch what that does. Send me a message. Send me a DM on Instagram or send me a direct message on Facebook and let me know how you feel when you use that. That's just one tool. And that's a powerful tool to help you overcome writer's block immediately. Like immediately. Now, I know there's some chatty Cathys and negative Nancys out there that are like, that's dumb, which is exactly what I thought. I was like, why would I write something 50 times? Like, how is that going to help me at all? That's what my 12-year-old brain was thinking. And that's probably what you're thinking. Like, why would I do that? That's such a waste of time. It's such a waste of paper. It's such a waste of ink. Try it and let me know what happens. All right, that's tool number 1. Tool number 2 is brain dump. I want you to learn the art of the brain dump. And it is exactly what it sounds like. You're taking all the negative thoughts out of your brain and you're dumping them on the paper. And you're going to do it for 10 minutes a day until you get to the point where, you've dumped everything out. Maybe it only took 5 minutes a day. You want to dump out all the negativity, all of the things that are limiting you, holding you back, things that have irritated you, frustrated you, made you sad. You need to put that on the paper so that you can give yourself an opportunity to process these emotions and heal. Okay? Healing is an ongoing process. It's always going to be going on. As long as you're alive, you're going to be constantly healing. But here's what happens. When you heal to the point where you are able to move forward and not be stuck because of things that happened in the past, that's progress. Okay? When you get to the point where you can tell your story without breaking down and crying, that's progress. When you can hold your peace when someone walks into the room who has done something to hurt you. When you can treat that person just like anybody else, you've healed enough to move forward. And that's the goal. You want to heal enough to move forward in your life and to keep doing the things that make you happy, that light you up. Okay? If you're not living your best life, there's a problem. Chances are you got more than one block. Chances are you're hanging out with some folks that you shouldn't be hanging out with. You might be sleeping with the enemy. Oops. You might be dining with the enemy. Right? You might be at work with the enemy. Who knows what it is? You know what it is. I don't. But whatever it is, you got to move it out of the way so you can move forward and proceed. Because this is your life. You only have one to live. And we're not promised tomorrow. Hell, we're not even promised tonight. We're just promised right now, this moment. This is what we got, this moment. And if you are here with me live, then just type in there, hey, LT, I'm live. I'm here with you. I can't see your names. Otherwise, I'll give you a shout out. But I can see you're watching. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Because this writer's block thing is deep. It runs deeper than just writing. It's a block that blocks your whole entire life. So I don't want you to fall victim to the analysis paralysis where you just sit and do nothing. You're like, well, damn, shoot, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to write. Write that, right? And so that's one of the tools. The other tool is brain dumping, where you're pulling everything out. That's tool number 2. And then the third tool that I want to give you to put in your toolkit, and you should create something like a little shoebox that says, this is my writer's toolkit. And inside of that toolkit, you need to have a stopwatch so you can time yourself 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. You also need to have a pen or a pencil, and you need to have some paper in there. This is your toolbox. You need these tools. Every person needs a toolbox. If you're a writer, you need a writing toolbox. Okay? All right. So here is what you got to do with tool number 3 is journaling. And journaling is so underrated because a lot of people talk about it. They're like, yeah, but they don't do it. Get a journal and start journaling every day for 10 minutes. You got to do this after the brain dump, because whatever you put in your journal is going to come true. So some people use their journal to like document the things that they've gone through, document their feelings and all that kind of stuff. No, that's the brain dump. You do that. Okay. Your journal is intentional. It's strategic. And what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, your higher self, okay, because you were created by your creator for the purpose of creating. And so you're going to go deep inside of yourself and you're going to ask yourself, okay, creative person inside of me, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? It's like a genie in the bottle, like literally. You don't need anybody else to give you the answers to the meaning of your life. Oh, sorry about that. You don't need anyone to tell you, hi, I see I have another viewer. Welcome. I'm glad you're in here. Don't limit yourself. Don't keep yourself in a little box, right? You can do anything you want to do, and you can discover your purpose. I talk to people about this all the time. They're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You just got to do it. So go into your journal, get your pen, and ask yourself this question. This is your journal prompt for tonight. Yes, you got homework tonight. And then you need to go into my DM and tell me how this worked out for you, okay? Because I really want to know. I'm nosy like that. My clients already know. I want to know what you're writing about and how you feel and what are the blocks. That's the purpose of this whole thing. When you're writing, it's a powerful tool for communication. And yeah, you're going to get your book done and you're going to get your book out. It's going to be bestseller and all that kind of stuff. But you got to set the foundation. This lays the foundation. This determines the kind of person that you are. This is going to allow you to catapult to massive success. But you have to be confident in who you are, and you have to know what your purpose is so that when opportunities come, you can say yay or nay or hooray, right? When someone presents you with an opportunities, and opportunities will come by the truckloads once you finally start stepping into your purpose. Opportunities will come. The problem is you will get distracted and try to figure out, oh my gosh, which one of these opportunities should I take? What does your higher person say? What does your higher power say? What does your inside self say? The creative being that's within inside of you, the one that hasn't gotten beaten down by life yet. What does that person say? That's why you need to be journaling. Okay. This is why people don't like to journal, because they don't want to have that conversation with the creative being that's inside of them. They don't want to hear the answers, because then that means they got to do the work. Yes, you got to do the work. So if you're not willing to do the work and show up for yourself, you might as well get off of this. If you're not ready to make a transformation in your life, you might as well go sit down and watch TV. Crack open a beer, put your hand down your pants like Al Bundy, and move on. Because this work is not for people who want something to be done for them. You got to do this for yourself. You can overcome writer's block forever. You can, but you have to build the foundation. And in order to build the foundation, you have to have your tools, and you have to be willing to use the tools and call yourself out. When you ain't using the tools, be honest and say, I'm just not using my tools. I'm not doing what I know I need to be doing. And I guarantee if you're doing that in this area of your life with writing, you're doing it in other areas too. So you have to look at yourself, boo, and see, do you have integrity or not? That's a hard truth. Do you have integrity or not? Do you do what you say you're going to do? And do you say what you're going to do? Is your yes and your no? Or is it yes, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, depends on the day. No, you can't be like that. You need to move forward in a straight line, and you need to be focused. So let's get back into these tools. Tool number 3 is journaling. Get your journal, start writing. Your first writing prompt for tonight is, what is my purpose in life? When you get quiet and you go within and you ask that question, you're going to be so surprised at the answer, but then you're not going to be surprised because it's something that you already knew the whole time. But it's going to be confirmation, and you're going to be like, oh, snap. She was right. How did she know? Because I'm you. I do the same thing, but I've got tools to snap out of it quicker. Right? I've got tools to heal faster and to move through these obstacles. Fear, it's just fear. Move past it. We're all afraid of something, right? Anxiety, it's just anxiety. Breathe. Calm your nervous system down. Have a cup of tea. Relax. Smile. It's less work. Turn that frown upside down. It's too much work to look grumpy. You got to do all of it. I don't even know how to look grumpy. I have no idea how people have that resting bitch face. My kids will tell you that I've done it, but I don't even know what that's all about, because I find reasons to smile because I'm alive. And that's what you got to start doing for yourself. Find reasons to smile because you're alive. and life is good. So get out of this writer's block routine and start using these power tools to make some powerful decisions in your life. Start journaling, start brain dumping, start pattern interrupting. That's it. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Use those tools and let me know how your life changes. Let me know how your body feels. Let me know how you feel in general, because that's it. It's very simple, but it's so simple that you won't do it. That's how simple it is. It's not easy. It's not a piece of cake, right? Because you have to discipline you. It's easy to discipline your kids. It's easy to reprimand your students. It's easy to critique your coworkers. It's easy to look at other people's flaws and point them out and give constructive criticism and corrective feedback. But when it's time for you to look at you, boo, you better look at you with those critical eyes that you have for everybody else. It's time to sit with yourself and to ask yourself some questions and snap out of this writer's block, because honestly, it's a facade. It's a puff of smoke. It's just fear. And what is fear? It depends on your perspective. Fear is either false evidence appearing real, or it's forget everything and run, right? Or it's forgive everyone and rise. Will you rise to the occasion of your life? Will you discover your purpose and start writing? Will you get your book done this year? It's up to you. The answer to that question is inside of your journal. And so I encourage you, I urge you, I want to inspire you to go ahead and start journaling right now. I'm done. I've shared what I wanted to share. I can't wait to hear about your purpose in life. I can't wait to see your message in my direct messenger box. I can't wait. I can't wait to see your comments on YouTube. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, feel free to post comments there. I think I have the comments enabled. If not, let me know and I will enable those comments. If you're on Facebook, inside of my Facebook groups, thank you, Facebook family. I love y'all. I love y'all hearts. If you're on LinkedIn, give me some shout out on LinkedIn and say hello. Tell me what you got from this conversation. If you're on my regular Facebook page, do me a favor, please share this video with other people. Like it, share it, pass it on. Okay, this is information that's not just going to be, information. This is going to cause some of you to create a transformation in your life. All right? Happy reading, happy writing. I'll see you next time. Bye. Love you.